Hey guys, this is Jordan with Team J's Classroom Fun, and welcome back to my YouTube page. Today I'm excited to share with you one of my favorite classroom transformations. This is one that I would tend to do around March Madness time, so in March during the college basketball tournaments, but you really could do it anytime during basketball season, NBA season, all of the above. This one is near and dear to my heart. I am a big basketball fan. My husband is also a basketball coach, so obviously basketball is a big deal in our family. So, as I show you this room transformation, feel free to kind of take what you want from it. You don't have to do all parts of it. You could do little bits and pieces of it. You could do everything. You could go big, you could go small. It's kind of up to whatever you are comfortable with. First up, what I'm going to show you is this is how I decorated my room. So, when you're doing a room transformation, again, you can keep it simple or you can go kind of all out and go big. For this, I tend to use a tablecloth. You could even use butcher paper to cover the tables. I think I got these at Dollar Tree. I do recommend you don't want to get too fancy a tablecloth because as the kids are working during the day, it does tend to rip and or get writing on it, things like that. So for this one, I did use orange tablecloths. I do find tablecloths are a super easy way to kind of just change things up. You'll also see on their tables, I have these little baskets. They're not that little, but they're like Easter basket size. I got these around this time of year a few years ago from Dollar Tree, and I feel like I've seen them since a few places. So that was part of the decoration. I also have that background with the NBA little basketball court. That is something I got off Amazon. I think I also got those little pennants off Amazon. And then I made some signs for some of the colleges. I also made some signs like MVP, slam dunk, things like that, that I also hung up in the room. Here you can see outside my classroom. So we did do a book tournament, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I do have another YouTube video on. I also just did March Madness with these fun letters. I think I even put up like our roster. So like our class list, pretending like that was our basketball roster as well. So another thing I like to do when I do a transformation is I dress the part. Some transformations, when I do them, I do one day. This basketball one, you could definitely spread over a few days depending on what you're wanting to do. Since I already had this ref shirt from when I did a football room transformation, I decided it was time to bring it back again. I also, with this background, and this is the background I was telling you guys, I think this is just a tablecloth I got off Amazon that I used as a background. I also took every child's photo in front of this with the basketball, so they got to have that as well. I tend to dress the part for transformations. I don't typically have kids dress the part. It doesn't mean you couldn't have them wear something sportsy or basketball-y. I just tend to more surprise them with the room transformation so they don't know what's coming to like plan for what to wear. Here are some fun read alouds. So these read alouds are great. They're great basketball books, team building books. Allie's Basketball Dream is a great one, especially too if you have some female athletes. The Hard Hat for Kids. This is a great one with 10 different steps for like being a good teammate. So this is a great one for team building and talking about how to work together. We also have two. So this one here is about Michael Jordan. So this one's called Dream Big, and it talks all about his journey as a basketball player. And then we have The Boy Who Never Gave Up, and this one's about Steph Curry. So these are some great picture books that are about some current players. I mean, Michael Jordan is not wrong person, is not currently playing, but people that names that these kids would have heard of. Sorry. Not Michael Jackson. Oh goodness. Okay. Book tournament. So another thing I like to do is a book tournament, and you could even just do this part. I have had some years where I only do the book tournament. I do have a separate YouTube video where I share exactly how I break this down. So I will link that in the description in case you want more information. But what it is we have a Sweet 16 of books where we have 16 books that are battling against each other. In each game, one book wins and moves on to the next round. So here you can see I have two books that went against each other. I Am Not a Chair and The Very Impatient Caterpillar. This one year we got kind of fancy and made a big poster board bracket and then also printed the book covers. This year a lot simpler and just used a printer back brackets paper, and I even just hand wrote out who moved on to each level. Another thing you could do is play a math game. So this is actually a math game I have in my TPT store. I have a version with regrouping and without regrouping. So I'll link that down in the description. For this, kids work together in teams. It could be table teams or teams you put together. And here we have where they got to come up with their team name. So this was the Houston I can't even fully tell what that is. Something about Suns, Points, Sun Devils, something like that. So they came up with their own team name. And then as they're answering the questions, they're earning points. And then everyone ended up getting one of these little basketball rings that I think I got from Party City. So when I've decorated for these and done things, I tend to get things at like Dollar Tree, obviously Amazon. Party City tends to have things as well. Basketball word problems. So I love using story problems as much as possible. So these basketball word problems are all fitting the basketball theme, but it's helping them work on a variety of math skills, and it's also helping them work on that critical thinking with solving word problems. This is also in my TPT store, so I will link that down below as well. Next up, we have Allie's Basketball Dream. This is one of the fun read alouds I mentioned. For this, I also have a resource in my TPT store where we have some different comprehension and writing activities that you can do with it. This is great because it focuses on like the sequencing of the story, and then it also has some written response questions that are fitting around what the story was about and what happened in the story. Then I also like to do some fun extras for the kids. So for this one here, they got to come up with a team mascot. So they always love trying to think of like, what would my team mascot be? Would it be an animal? What would it be? And then they described it down below. And then this, if I were a basketball player, so they came up with like, they could come up with their own like persona as a basketball player. So what would their name be? What would their team be called? What number would they have on their jersey? What would their nickname be? And what would their team colors and mascot be as well? So this is just kind of a fun little extra that you could do just to kind of again bring home the basketball aspect. That is what I have for you today. I will down in the description share my links for these resources that I mentioned that I have in my TPT store. I will also share my Amazon storefront. I have some products that I have used for this transformation in my storefront, so you can check that out. And that is what I have. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments, and or you can find me over on Instagram at teamjclassroomfun. And I will be back to talk to you later. Have a great day.